and welcome to the Tavern Chat Podcast. I am your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor of the Tenkar's Tavern blog, Discord server, maybe with Facebook group, Twittering, and Instagram. That beep was me turning off the AC. Because, well, it ain't working great anyway. Seems like we have a problem drawing power tonight. Because it's 84 on a Sunday night in New York City. It means everybody's fucking sitting at home. Nobody's at the bars. So everybody has their own fucking ACs going. So, what to talk about? Well, the Ennies came out. And Game of the Year and lots of awards were won by a game I know nothing about. Maybe that's my bad. Mork Borg Art Punk RPG. And apparently, it is an OSR game. Review quotes, it's the OSR taken to a completely different level. This is a piece of, this is an art piece to have in your collection. It manages to cram pure brilliance into such tight spaces that it's outright confounding at times. Alright, well, I'll have to see if I can find a PDF, because it's out of stock. Well, congratulations, look at that. Mork Borg is a complete game in the OSR genre that can be played as is or be picked apart for use in your own homebrew. The rules are easily made compatible with most of the editions of the world's largest role-playing game. Alright. Wow, look at that. We represented. Not what I expected. Holy crap, holy. So, what am I mainly going to talk about today? Well, apparently, there's something going on in the Anchor world. Now, those of you who might not know, Anchor is owned by, drumroll please, Spotify. So, Anchor is owned by Spotify. Now, it was pointed out to me by Joe the lawyer, of all people, who also does a podcast. And Joe was like, have you noticed anything with your Anchor traffic? And you can look and check out your traffic from Anchor. And historically, I get 8% of my podcast traffic directly from the Anchor app, which means 92% does not get driven by Anchor. I was like, okay, interesting. So I go, all right, well, let's look at my traffic. Let's see what there is and where Anchor is coming up at. So I'm like, all right, I'll go back. Because he says the last 2 days. So I'll go back 3 days. I go, oh, look at that. All right. Anchor for my Tunnels and Trolls episode drove 66 plays. All right. Actually, I was like, well, that's actually fairly high for something that reason. But fair enough, because it became a big conversation. That was the Tunnels and Trolls episode. Because I'm changing some things in the reprints. And I got some conversation going on Facebook. So I got a little bit more activity than I normally would have. But still, great. So I'm like, okay, no big deal. So I go, let's check out from 2 days ago. Let's check out Friday. How many hits from Anchor? Where is it? And I gotta look, and sure enough, I gotta hit the expand list, right? And it's 2 hits. 2 hits. I mean, it's not even making 2% of my traffic. It's not doing shit for traffic. All right, well, maybe that's just an aberration. And I go, all right, well, then how about yesterday's post? Which is kind of a follow-up to Tunnels and Trolls post. Well, it almost didn't even make the list with 1 hit. So, now Joe is saying that if you updated your Anchor app, apparently your favorite list is gone. I don't. Here's the thing. I don't listen to podcasts through Anchor. I know. I should. The reason why I don't is for me. When I listen through Anchor, there are times when it doesn't advance to the next segment. So I listen to the intro music, some nice Irish music, and then it gets to my podcast and it hangs there. And how do you leave an idiot in suspense? You leave them fucking hanging. And I've done that, and feel stupid. So I listen through Breaker is what I usually use. I don't think Breaker tends to make... Jesus, as I drop my phone. There we go. Live from New York. It's spastastic. Yeah, Breaker doesn't even make the list. I guess my one listen to my own podcast was less than that one listen that somebody used Anchor for. Now, think about that. That means that... Now, Joe's pointing out that, well, it means that people who normally listen to your podcast because they have it favorited or on your list on Anchor, that's how they would listen to it. What it tells me is that it's a whole different thing, Joe. I hope you listen to this one. But you know what it tells me? It tells me that nobody clicked on those fucking Facebook links. Because the Facebook links are linking it to Anchor. So either they're not clicking on it, or Anchor is not recording the traffic from Anchor. It could be that I got hits. Because I'll tell you the truth. One hit on Anchor, or one hit and two hits in 2 days respectively, that's more than an aberration. That's like something is broken. So, if you are an Anchor podcaster, I advise you to take a look at your recent traffic over the last couple of days, especially if you put up, frequent podcast episodes, and see what's going on with Anchor. Now, I know it's getting picked up by the other casts because I can look at numbers from other podcatcher thingies, and the numbers are there. But Anchor is extremely small. But like I said, normally Anchor is about 8% of my traffic. So I know a lot of my traffic is not driven directly through Anchor, even with me sharing on Facebook. I know. But you know what? That means that I got loyal listeners, and I really do appreciate that. Folks, we are still in the midst of the pandemic, and I am not a medical professional. Take actions, take precautions to protect yourself, your family, your friends, your loved ones. Okay? Seek advice from a medical professional if you need guidance on that. Aside from that, be safe, be well, God bless, roll those dice. If you're on the East Coast, you might be in the midst of tropical storm warning in effect, I think, through the end of the day, Tuesday or Wednesday, and we've got coastal flooding warnings because I guess we're gonna have high tide. I still remember Hurricane Sandy. Jesus, that flooded. It flooded Lower Manhattan to literally a block from the location that I worked at. It flooded Coney Island. And it said that probably the one time in my adult life I go to Coney Island, it's to patrol it after the flooding, and I could just see the devastation. And then I'm out there in the Rockaways, and it looked like a war zone with cars pushed into people's basements. And jeez, you know what? These storms that come up from the south along the seaboard, nothing to sneeze at, nothing to mock. So please, folks, stay safe. All right? Take your precautions. Be safe, be well, God bless, roll those dice. And I will talk with you all, God willing, tomorrow's. Later, folks.